Keith here from Cmon the Hoop Celtic. So 2 weeks has passed since we finally played our last game against Hearts in the league, and then last week we wrapped the league up against Hearts as well. So I'm obviously going to be talking about the season we're after having this season, like obviously winning the treble, the turmoil we went through for a couple of days in February, certain players that went injured, went missing, and so. But I'm going to start it off. It's going to be, I'd say, about 10, 12 minutes of just chatting about the season. So we won the league yet again for 8 in a row. Third time win the Scottish League Cup in a row, and third time win the Scottish Cup in a row. So the only bad thing, we started off the season missing out to Champions League qualification, the playoff round to AEK Athens, which was a horrible feeling. So we didn't play well at all in the first game in Paradise, and then away in Athens we were just shocking. So unfortunately we did lose out. We did play Rosenborg in the previous round, which we did play Rosenborg again in the group stage of the Europa League. But just not getting to the Champions League really, I think it really knocked on the head for Brendan Rodgers, especially going into the season. I think the mindset, the frame he was in, like you could see with certain games, he didn't want. He was so-called saying that he loved the club. He's a Celtic man, but he didn't want to be there because he wasn't getting expenditure as well in the summer window to strengthen the team, to attract players for Champions League, which it didn't happen. So we started off the home game, Flag Day against Livingston, done well against Liv. We got over the result. The following week we got beaten by Hearts. That's when a lot of people were scratching their heads and saying, look, Lawwell and Desmond need to start investing in the club, start buying players, because we did sell Dembele last summer, and we also sold Armstrong as well. So people are like, what's going on here? So a bit of a turmoil season. I think we got a couple of bad results in end of August going in September. We did end up beat Rangers on the day of my birthday, and we beat them, which was a good result that day. It was a nice Sunday result. A goal thanks to Oliver Neacham, which was a fantastic goal that he took quite well. Still didn't buy anybody. We qualified for the Europa League after beating Saduva in the playoff round. Scrappy games of football, but we got over away in Saduva, scrappy game of football. We get them a good game out in Paradise. We got Christopher Lorian so scored, but it just not making the Champions League really kind of buzz killed it. But we had to retain the championship. That was the most important thing to do. So what really annoyed a lot of people in September, what highlighted out most, was the whole Boyata situation. Boyata's agent, and Boyata came out saying he doesn't want to play for Celtic. He wants to take a move, leave the club. The Green Brigade done a banner saying that Boyata is not fit to wear the shirt, but controversially enough, we played Hamilton that day in Celtic Park, as far as I remember, and he scored. So he was on the fence with some fans. A lot of fans were just like, what is he doing? If he's gonna have that attitude, just get rid of him. Just put him in the reserves, let him rot till the end of the season, and let him go in the free. But personal opinion is, I think we should have just sold him at that time. Like, we should have just took the 4 million or whatever that was rumored to be. Fulham were in for him. A few teams were in for him. We should have took the money, but it didn't happen that way. But he did play a crucial part of the season at the same time as well. I'll give the hat to him there. But what kind of, like, when we progressed in the League Cup, when we got to the final, before that, a couple of weeks before that, Lee Griffiths came out and said that he needed to take a step back from football. Mental health problems. He wanted to get his head together, and there's a lot of stuff going off the field, and I wished him the very best at the time. It was a big sucker punch for us because we only had one out-and-out striker, Edward. Edward was kind of suffering at the time with injuries and stuff, but he got himself together. The 9 million price tag proved that he's starting to be money's worth, especially in the second half of the season. But the whole thing with Lee, like, it was just shocking because Lee is such a crucial player. Free kicks, pace, good in the air, passion for Celtic, a real Scotsman, a real team. Even though he did play for Hibs, but he loved playing with the Celtic jersey on, doing a good show. Fair enough, you get wages, that's what you have to do anyway. But a couple of we played Hibs as well. We lost the Hibs before the turn of the new year. Played them. We did. Look, at the most important thing is Ryan Christie came into the side, and Bain was getting a couple of games as well in his belt in the League Cup. He established himself as the number one because Gordon was suffering injuries and down to good form as well. But Ryan Christie just proved that, like, the semi-final against Hearts, cracking goal, scoring the winner in Hampden as well against Aberdeen, who he played for previous seasons on loan from Celtic. But it was great to see Christie get a run. He had a massive part, especially he done well in the European games away to Red Bull, even though we didn't get a result there. Red Bulls, Scott Sinclair scored the header away in Rosenborg to progress us to get through the Europa League group into the last 32 as well. You have to remember that as well. We finally got a result in European football away, which was a long time waiting for, but we got over the line. But I think what kind of really springed it was 29th of December, played Rangers in Ibrox, allocation of 750 fans. Brutal game of football. We never showed up. Just never showed up. We controversial call, that was an offside call for McGregor scoring. Morelos was an absolute filth bag. He was just stamping on Scott Brown. There was a few incidents off the ball with him and Brown and other players, but I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised, to be honest with you. This preview is not to talk about Rangers, talk about Celtic, how they became treble champions yet again. But it's just, I think that was a good thing that what happened to us. I know a lot of people say, what? Because we did take a kind of foot off the pedal going into that game. It's just, like, we won the league. Fair enough, we won the league by 9 points. We scored 77 goals and we lost 5 games the whole season. It could have went really bad for us when you look at it, like when the new year the boys took a trip to Dubai, the winter break, recharged the batteries and they just kicked on. Then in mid-February, Brendan Rodgers just decided, look, I want to pack it in. I just want to go to Leicester. Don't want to be a part of Celtic Football Club anymore. Could have stayed at Celtic. Could have won the treble. Never know if he was still a manager. Had a lot of controversy for days upon days. A lot of fans were very upset. A lot of fans hatreds towards Brendan. There was Lenny took the job. It was like, lucky Lenny left Hibs at the time, mutual agreement or so. But to get Lenny to come in, do the job what he done is phenomenal. A lot of people don't give Neil Lennon the credit where it's due. We played Hearts the following night. He was basically sitting on the bench with the boys and all. Damien Duff came in as well to help the senior side. But Edward to score that goal in the last couple of minutes, just kind of gave a spring to it. Edward was just phenomenal. Like, and what else I want to say is, from the new year onwards, 3 players that kind of stuck out for me, besides James Forrest being phenomenal all season. Phenomenal, so was McGregor. Bain stuck out for me. Johnny Hayes stuck out. He had a great performance away to Valencia. Unfortunately, didn't win, but the passion he showed, pushing up their wings when he was playing left back, because KT did get injured with his hernia. He was hot and cold. Like, obviously KT wasn't getting the first half of the season. He was really good, but I think after the whole not playing against Rangers, you knew that this injury was going to be something bad, you know. But yeah, Hayes, Bain and Edward could have really springed it to the second half of the season. Like McGregor maintained the form from the first half going to the second half anyway. James he proved it. James he got between goals and assists was up to the 40 tally between them two, which is fantastic. Like, didn't get the credit, but eventually at the end he won like 5 awards for the football he played. But you look at it now, like, fair enough. The following game he played Hibs away, James Forrest, and then Scott Brown scoring as well. But we have to remember as well, like, that win as well at Rugby Park. Scott Brown's injury time winner as well. I know he got sent off, but a lot of people say Scott Brown won the league in Rugby Park for us as well. You know, a league's not won just in one game, it's won overall long term, you know. We could have. There's been times when we had a chance to clinch the league over the season against like Aberdeen, Livingston, when we dropped points at home. A lot of people are saying Lenny's not fit for the job. He's not doing enough. You got to look at from this side as well. He's coming into a team that has been winning cups non-stop, winning games non-stop. They went on a massive run as well the season before, so he didn't want to change too much around because it wasn't his team. He was inheriting. They get a couple of players in there, the likes of Beaton, Brown, Forrest, Izagirre, Rozic and so that played from previously, but like they bring these, not change too much around because he wanted to keep it as much as he could until the end of the season, which it worked for him. We only lost one game under Neil Lennon. One game. I feel like I lost like 3 or 4 because a lot of criticism we went through on social media saying he's not fit, he's not good enough. But come on, this could have went really bad. They could have appointed someone else. We could have lost more games. We could have not won a treble. People need to look at the real side of it. It was a good season considering the shit we dealt with. That absolute bullshit that happened. The ups and downs. Christie getting injured. Boyat refusing to play. Gordon suffering with knee injuries. Simonovic suffering with injuries. Brown talk. Was he going? Was he going to Australia? He signed a new contract at the start of the year. Start of the new year. Staying on for 10 in a row, which was a massive plus as well in that season to get Brownie on, because a lot of people were criticising Brown before he went to Australia, saying his legs are gone, he doesn't want to be at Celtic, he played shite against Rangers. Come on, you can afford to play one bad game. He's had to play in over 500 games for the club, like phenomenal athlete, phenomenal captain. He's been there, he's had to lift how many trophies, nearly 19 trophies or so. So phenomenal player, and he needs the credit. Like, it's kind of very hard to get a captain like him. I know we could say KT or McGregor down the line, but Brown has been great leader. Good to have him there. He proved it as well. He proved against Rangers in the home game, the second home game against them, that like he was a massive part. People say that he shit stored up Morelos and Arfield, but that's just the passion of football. He's going to stick up for his team. He's going to stick up for his fans. They gave him abuse and Ibrox, so he's going to do the same back. And I was delighted for him that he done so well in that game, and he didn't get fined as well, which was the most important thing. But we're going to crack on anyway. So we got the results. Then he's returned to Hampden as a Celtic manager. We're all shitting it. We're all like, look, is it going to be a day when Aberdeen beats us and we're not going to do the treble? I was dreading it going into all week. We got the result. We smashed them. Good result. Good goals by Rozic, Edward, and so good goals in there. The only bad thing was with Christie getting that injury to the eye, took him out for the rest of the season, which he was great up to it. Like, he only played like 3 or 4 games under Lenny at the time, but yeah, it was just a mad season. Like, to wrap it up, should have been wrapped up earlier, but to wrap it up to Aberdeen away in Pittodrie, obviously I forgot to talk about the first game away in Pittodrie on Stevens Estate, the 4-3 game. Scott Sinclair saw some crackers as well. Obviously, another throwback was when Brown got the goal at the goal of the season against St Johnstone in the Scottish Cup. That was a phenomenal goal. There's been some cracking goals in there. Edward at home as well against Hearts. James Forrest scored some cracking goals against St Johnstone with the outside of the foot when he got the hat-trick as well. Just some cracking goals in it all season. But Lustig as well kind of came back to life as well under Neil Lennon. A lot of people criticised Lustig. We got Tojan in, we got Timothy in, and we got Burke in. Burke played a good few good games until Lennon came in and he just dropped form. The same with Timo. Timo didn't really get a chance at Celtic. That's my opinion. I think we should go back in for him. Good player. He loved the club. You could see that he really enjoyed his time in Glasgow. And never say never. We might come back in the future. But he did leave the club to play for America, picking his country. Lenny told him to leave because he wanted dedication for these games, last couple of games, which it didn't happen. But just to get over the line in Hampden was phenomenal. To get to the cup final, get the league wrapped up, get a break for a week just to go into that cup final. Also another talking point is young Dembele as well, coming on at half time against Hearts, last game of the season. Mikey Johnson was quite good over this season as well. Had a couple of games at Christmas time when he scored a good few goals, vital goals for Celtic as well. So need the credit due there. I know we do right against Dundee, but another few last minute goals as well. Edward scored against Dundee as well. Paddy's Day, can't forget that one as well. But yeah, it's just as I touched on, Hayes was good in the second half of the season. Congratulations to Callum McGregor getting the player of the year, player of the year as well for Celtic, and then Jamesy getting the Football Writers Award, SPFL player of the year as well, making the SPFL team as well. He won a good few awards, Jamesy, well deserved. I didn't think he was going to get an award at that rate when Callum started clean the market with the awards, but I'm delighted for James Forrest. Very underrated footballer. He's just, I just hope we keep him. I know he's Celtic true and true. He signed a new contract, but you never know. Things are crazy in football. And the most positive thing is Lustig scored, started that goal in Batodry. Edward scored a nice goal. Lustig deserves the credit. I hope he gets another year. Just as a character to have in the dressing room, he's vital to have. So never say never. But get to that final. What a game. First half was shocking, but we came out in the second half, got the penalty. I think the goal against us kind of woke us up. Got the penalty, and then Edward's chip as well. That just closed the curtains. Got us a treble. Lenny's emotions at the end, crying on the ground in bits, and then offered the contract. He has taken the job. I think it's going to be a good season ahead. A lot of people have that negativity about him, saying, "Oh, he doesn't fit Celtic. He's not going to attract big names. Is he going to get the funding?" A lot of questions that hasn't been answered yet, especially in the press conference. But I just think if he just gets us over the line with the league, if we lose the Scottish Cup, we lose the treble. It's not the end of the world. We've had not been spoiled, but we've had treble. So to get that league, get 9 in a row is the most important thing here. If we get a good run in Europe, get into the Champions League, it doesn't matter if we don't progress, just to get the money there, or even a really good run in the Europa League as well. Never say never, but there is going to be a lot of changes. Obviously, Boyat is gone, Darius is gone, there's a lot of talk of Similovic gone, but I hope Similovic stays. Also, I want to talk about obviously Caesar passing away during the season as well, which was quite emotional. That game as well, where against Kilmarnock, Caesar Similovic came up with a 67-minute header as well, wearing the iconic number 5 shirt. He gave the shirt to the McNeil family, not the O'Neill, and the McNeil family. Then that Monday, Stevie Chalmers passed away as well, so it was quite an emotional week for Celtic Football Club. After the final, Harry Hood passed away, but Celtic did wear the number 9 and number 5 on the shorts as well in the final, which was a nice touch, and they wore it on the jackets as well. And then to see the fans wearing all the different colours as well, that was really a spark, especially winning 2-1. Like this t-shirt here, winning 2-1 on the 25th of May was iconic, very iconic, 52 years later after Lisbon. Unbelievable. But yeah, that's it for me today. I know it's kind of all over the place, like setting games. I didn't do it month by month. I just saying how it is. Good season. I enjoyed it myself. I enjoyed communicating with all the fans on social media, dealing with all the shite of Brendan Rodgers, dealing with the slating for Neil Lennon, dealing with the praise of McGregor, Forrest, great players. I've met good former players over the season as well. It's been great interviewing Jackie and all. But new season ahead in the next couple of weeks. All happens so quick, and can't wait for it. I just want to say, if you just haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. You're going to enjoy it. I'm going to have loads of good content coming up, and anything else you want me to talk about in the next coming weeks, throw it at me. Worst players, best players, emotional games, ones that you want me to talk about, throw it in at me. I just want to say thank you very much again for watching the video, and enjoy. Hail, hail.